Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I got another Power Rangers Dino Charge review for you. This is the Toys R Us exclusive Legendary Zord Set. And these are actually from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2010 toy line, I believe. Although I don't remember ever seeing these in stores personally. So I don't know if there was a limited release or what. I'm not sure. But these are actually, older figures, and I guess they must have had a stock of them left or something. For whatever reason, they decided to bring them back into this one set as a Toys R Us exclusive. So I kind of debated if I even wanted to buy this or not, but I was like, you know what? It's in the Dino Charge packaging now, so it's kind of a part of the Dino Charge toy line. It's more things to add to the Zord Builder collection, and they kind of looked interesting, so I figured, you know what the heck, let's do it. So this is it. This is the Legendary Zord set. As you can see, it comes with the Triceratops Dino Zord and Blue Ranger, Tyrannosaurus Dino Zord and Red Ranger, Mastodon Dino Zord and Black Ranger, and then the Sabertooth Tiger Dino Zord and Green Ranger? What? That's an odd combination there. Obviously, that's a mismatch. They should have done some kind of Dragon Zord thing with the Green Ranger, of course. Or actually, why not do a Sabertooth Tiger and a Yellow Ranger? I mean, why does it have to be the Green Ranger? Why not yellow? That weird mishap aside, it looks kind of interesting. Now it says 4 epic legendary figures and Zords, battle features, and it says from the Dino Archives. So because it's all Mighty Morphin, they're calling it like they're bringing it back from some archive or something. But anyway, so there's that. Then the side of the box, it's really long packaging, so I'm gonna try and see if I can position the camera. There we go. So the side of the box shows the Zord Builder compatibility, how you can add them as arms or even on the side of the legs there. So we'll take a look at all of that. It just, it's a weird combo, but hey, it's Zord Builder, so you can come up with your own crazy combos there. So here's the back of the box. Again, as you can see, I've done reviews already of the Dino Zords, the Cycles, the Zord Armors, but now you have these other Rangers right there, and it shows you kind of that combination that you can make right there. So, anyways, enough talk. Let's just get this thing open and take a look. Alright, so I got the Zords out of the package right here. Here they are, and I want to kind of take a quick look at each of them up close. First of all, though, the set comes with 4 of these little coins here. One side has the lightning bolt, one side says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so it's kind of neat. You get the 2 little holes there. These discs, if you're wondering what they're used for, I'll show you in a second. They're actually used with one of the Zords, so you get 4 of the discs in this set right here. Now, putting those aside, let's take a look at these Zords one by one. So first of all, we have the Triceratops right here for the Blue Ranger. There it is. And the cool thing about these Zords is it's not your show accurate designs. These are kind of more mechanized, more futuristic looking versions of the Dino Zords, and that's actually kind of neat. I like having, these variations of the Zords. I think it looks pretty interesting looking, so I dig that, personally. Now, each of them does come with a little Ranger, so I do want to take a look at that. And these Rangers also have a bit more of a futuristic design to them, which is kind of interesting. Now, as far as articulation goes for these figures, well, first of all, these are 4-inch figures. So these are more in line with the Mighty Morphin 2010 toy line, because that's kind of what this was a part of. I could not find my Mighty Morphin 2010 toys that quickly, so it would have taken some digging around. I just didn't have time. So real quick, just for comparison purposes, here's the 5-inch Dino Charge Red Ranger. So you can kind of get a sense of the scale right there. They are smaller figures, so do keep that in mind. And, they don't have the most paint. The legs are all, solid one color right there. So as far as articulation goes, the head does rotate around 360 degrees. The legs do have articulation at the knees, but the feet don't have any separate articulation. But what's cool is this whole piece does rotate around as well. So you can still get a decent amount of posing with the legs. You have, so pretty decent amount of articulation there with the legs. With the hands, not as much. They do rotate all the way around. And they can go, side to side a little bit, but there is no elbow articulation. The hands do rotate around 360 degrees, though. So you get a decent amount of articulation, but unfortunately, the elbows are a little bit limited, but, not too big of a deal. It's better than I expected, personally. I expected much more limited articulation, but it's okay. Now, as far as the actual design of the Rangers, so let's kind of take an up-close look. So again, just one solid piece there. Then you have the silver piece right there. The back is all one solid color. The shoulder pieces are all silver as well, and then you have this piece right here, and so they all kind of have their dinosaur coin right there. Here's the Triceratops, and then the helmet is pretty standard. Personally, the chest piece thing just looks kind of odd. Actually, this whole design is a little odd looking to me. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, you know, digging it either. I'm kind of in between on it. You know, I've kind of like mixed feelings on it. I like the idea of the shoulder pads and some of that stuff, but then it just looks kind of odd with the way they have it designed right there. I don't know. The chest piece is just a little weird looking to me. But, you know, I guess it's interesting to have something different, not the same old stuff, so that's kind of nice. As far as the Triceratops itself goes, here's the design right here. Definitely much more futuristic looking, so it's mostly blue, but you do have a little bit of gray pieces there, and a little bit of silver actually right there. So he's got like these missiles right up front. Here's the handlebars for the Blue Ranger. Hold it right there. These little wing-looking jets, kind of. So that's interesting. And yeah, overall, pretty interesting looking. And so each of these Zords has kind of a gimmick, basically, with them, right? So the gimmick for this Zord is basically you take off the tail piece. Oops, and actually the wings too, so I might as well take those off. So you take off the wing pieces right there, and you take off the tail piece right here. So there you go. This is actually a missile, so that kind of came apart, but that's basically right there. And essentially what you can do is you can build like whatever this is, stand it up here, and you can shoot it down with a missile. So they kind of gave you a target to shoot down with the missile. And the missile, the way that this works is you can open the mouth of the Triceratops, so it opens up a decent amount, and then you just attach this, like, oops, hold on, it broke off. So let me just reattach this in here. So the jaw piece does come off. It came off when I was messing with it before too. So it's not like super sturdy, but it just kind of sticks on there. It doesn't click into place or anything really. The only challenge though is I think it actually goes sideways. So let me get that to click back in here. I don't know if that's in or not. Anyway, see the weird part is when I'm doing this, getting the weapon to be pointed straight is kind of hard because as you see it just tilts downward. So if I kind of hold it like this, basically there's a button that you can push, and this button will then launch the missile. If I can do it, oops, now this piece is falling off too. These missiles also look like they can be launched, but I don't think they can. I tried. These buttons are not pushable either, so it's kind of weird. But let me push the button at the bottom here. Bam, there you go. So, you know, it's nothing that special, and it's kind of just weird the way that it attaches on here. Oops, now I'm dropping stuff again. Actually, I think I attached this on... How did I attach this? I don't know. This is kind of weird, the way that it works. So it's not the greatest thing, but, you know, I guess it's some kind of a little gimmick. Personally, I don't care much for it, the gimmick. I think, you know, it's a neat enough design as is, and we don't need this other gimmick, oops, to make it any more different. And these pieces always just keep coming off, so that also annoys me. But anyway, so you can reattach these pieces on like so. Just kind of fit right on, just like that. Okay, so I guess it's kind of neat. And then of course the Blue Ranger can go back and sit on like so. So I'll attach him right on there. All right, so there is the Blue Ranger, as you can see. Oops, if I can get him to sit. So it looks kind of neat as a whole package. I think it's better in a way as a display, kind of. I think it just looks kind of neat, just the futuristic design and everything. But as far as the actual functionality goes, it's a little weak. Then you have the Tyrannosaurus right here. So let's take a quick look at the Red Ranger that it comes with. Again, very similar design. So you have kind of the one solid color, but then the silver pieces right there. And then there's the gold chest piece is the Tyrannosaurus, as you can see right there. So, so yeah, similar design, looks interesting, and yeah. And then here's the futuristic looking Tyrannosaurus. I think this looks pretty neat. I dig this design that they have here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, you know, the legs are movable, the arms are movable, so you can kind of adjust it accordingly. This one is a little hard to get to balance, so you really have to kind of balance it with the body like leaning upwards, because if it leans down a little, it's really going to tilt forward. So you just have to get it to balance a little. Pretty cool. Pretty cool looking design. I dig it, I dig it. I just noticed the wheel here. I don't know what that wheel is for, actually. That's interesting. I guess you could put it down here and then it kind of rolls like that, sort of, I guess. That's interesting. I have no idea what that's for. Huh. Very interesting. This piece does come off too, but it's not supposed to. There's certain pieces on here that, you know, the instructions don't talk about it. So maybe there's more features that some of these do, but the instructions don't mention it. I don't know what the wheel is for. I don't know why the tail comes off. It's not a part of the instructions, so I don't know. It's kind of weird, but anyways. So the gimmick with the T-Rex that you have here is basically the mouth can open here, and there's a button that you can push, and when you push it, the tongue will shoot forward. Okay, so if I push it back, it clicks into place. I can push it, the tongue pushes forward. So what that does is I can take one of the discs that it came with, and this is really the only Zord that I found that uses the discs, unless there's some other hidden functionality. And there's a little groove at the bottom right there, so you can basically rest the coin in there, and then it just kind of clicks in place at the top. You just kind of slide it in, just like that. So the black clip up there kind of holds it in place. Oops, and it just fell out. So let's try it once again. It is a little flimsy, so you do have to kind of play with it a little bit to get it to work. There we go. Now, as you can tell, you're going to push the button because the tongue is resting against the coin. So once you push the button, it'll push the tongue forward and shoot the coin out. So like that. So that's kind of a neat little thing. It did take a little bit of playing around with to figure out how this worked. It's not super intuitive, but, you know, I guess it's a neat little thing. And it shoots at a pretty decent distance too, so that's kind of cool as well. So anyways, that's the Tyrannosaurus, as you can see. So let's kind of put the Red Ranger back on there. Same articulation, by the way, for all the figures, so I'm not going to spend any more time showing, you know, that for each of the figures, but that's the Tyrannosaurus. And then we have the Mastodon right here. So again, let's take a quick look at the figure itself. Same articulation there, but you have the Mastodon right there. I do like the black and silver combo. I think that looks pretty cool. So out of all these Rangers, I think the Black Ranger probably looks the best. Just with the color combo, I think it looks pretty neat. But yeah, there's that. Here's the Mastodon right here. Again, kind of futuristic looking. You have a little bit of silver down here. And yeah, just pretty futuristic looking. The eyes are like hidden back down there. And it's interesting because, you know, when the head is down like this, the eyes are like white, but when it tilts up, it's red. It's really tiny, so you really can't even tell. Yeah, it's just not even showing up on the camera. It's super tiny, but it's just an interesting little design there that they have, or color choice rather. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. So the gimmick that this has is you just push the button, and this moves upward. So it doesn't shoot anything, you know, like the other two. It just push the button and it does that. So, you know, you can like knock over some of the others or whatever. It's kind of neat, you know, pretty interesting looking. Again, you know, a lot of these seem to have the wheels there. I guess, you know what I just realized? What it probably is you can probably use these as legs for a Megazord, and so then the wheels might help with the mobility there. Something like that. We can always test it out and see, but that's, you know, a possibility that I just thought about. Anyways, so let's attach that on like so. So there's the Mastodon with the Black Ranger. And then the odd combination right here, the Green Ranger with the Sabertooth Tiger. Again, it's just one of those examples of, hey, we have the Green Ranger, let's shoehorn him into everything. And so we have him with the Yellow Ranger Zord, which is really odd. But here's the chest piece right there. The Green Ranger looks the most different because obviously he usually has his own chest piece, so they kind of instead made him the same design as the others, which is interesting, I guess. But I would have preferred to have a Yellow Ranger, honestly. And you have a really cool looking Sabertooth Tiger. I think this is one of the best designs out of the four. Just looks really cool, really sleek looking, just futuristic looking, very like menacing. This thing just looks awesome. Just really, really cool. The yellow, the silver and gold kind of complement it well. And I love like the translucent stuff they went for, like especially with the fangs right here, that, and then the tail, which actually becomes a blade later on. But I love that the translucent plastic that they used is definitely really, really cool. And they used it for the handlebars too. So that just looks really neat. Now this thing does not have a gimmick necessarily, but what it does is essentially you can transform it, and we'll take a look at that, you know, in more detail later. But the legs fold up like that, and then this slides out like so, and it basically becomes like a sword, which looks really cool. And I'm excited to show you guys that combination with one of the Megazords in a little bit. But that's basically what it does. So no specific gimmick, and in a way I actually kind of like that, because it feels like, you know, with some of these other ones, like especially the Triceratops, a lot of the pieces keep falling off and stuff because, you know, you're meant to detach stuff for the gimmick. This thing, there is no gimmick, so it feels like one solid piece, except, you know, you have the blade, which can become a sword, which is really cool. So just, you know, an interesting little thing that they have there. Anyway, so there are the your four Zords in the set, which are all kind of interesting looking. That nothing stands out as like a must buy necessarily, but if you're looking for some fun Zord Builder stuff, these are some, you know, extra little options that you can choose from. And now, speaking of Zord Builder, I have the Deluxe Dino Charge Megazord right here. So I want to show you guys basically some of the combinations that you can do with this. So for that, I'm basically going to detach the whole arms, including that part of the T-Rex there. Okay, so those arm pieces are going off. And basically, I'm going to kind of do the combination that it shows on the box. And what the box will show is, first of all, these pieces will just attach right onto the legs. And they actually show like this back piece going up like this, and kind of like that. And these pieces kind of leaning forward right here. So it's like he's like jumping almost, except he's now just being attached like so, right onto the Megazord, kind of like that. Although he's like almost falling over. Let's see if I tilt it up. Kind of works, kind of like that, I guess, is what the box shows, which is interesting looking, definitely. Now the box also shows all the Rangers on there, but I think that just looks kind of odd. So I'm actually gonna take off the Rangers, but something like this, I guess. I don't know, it looks a little weird to me, but that's what it shows. And then they actually have the Triceratops here. Take off the Blue Ranger on the other side. So, oops, and that fell off. So I'm gonna push the legs forward. Let's reattach this, and then push these legs back, and then basically attach this on this side here. Kind of like that. You know, it looks kind of odd personally, but again, these are Zord Builder ports, so you can put them in whatever combinations you want with other Megazords as well. Then they have the Red Ranger right here, and they just basically straight up took the T-Rex and just attached it on like that. So you now have a T-Rex arm. Can't even see. You now just have a T-Rex arm like that, which just looks kind of weird. Personally, I think that just looks odd. But the one that actually looks like it's designed as an arm is the Sabertooth Tiger, because you have the blade right here, and the legs move back like so. Now this thing you can attach on, oops, like so. And now we're kind of talking, at least with the arm. Now, granted, it still looks kind of odd, because the arm looks just really skinny compared to the rest of the Megazord. And unfortunately, the back piece here kind of restricts the movement of the arm because of the leg here. So you can take that off and then be able to move it more. But, you know, this is technically supposed to be there, but who cares, you know. Anyways, so this is essentially what you can get. Really, really odd combination. I do have to say, really odd combination. But, you know, it's more Zord Builder compatibility, and Zord Builder is always nice just to come up with crazy combos of stuff. So Personally, this is one of those sets that I think many people will probably be able to pass on and you're not missing much. However, if you're really into Mighty Morphin or you just really want more Zord Builder compatibility, this might be worth checking out just for some interesting little combos and being able to, you know, try some new things out. But all in all, there's nothing here that's a huge must buy. These are all just okay toys, nothing super special. I guess they just wanted to release it as one box set to add in, you know, some other option, probably because they had leftover stock or something. But, you know, that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for my review. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments below. Check this out. It's a Toys R Us exclusive, the Legendary Zord set. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later. You all have been asking for Dino Supercharge, and here they are. Coming up next are my Dino Supercharge reviews. So I have the T-Rex Supercharged Morpher that I'm going to start off with, and then I'm going to get into the Ankylozord and Deinonychus Zord as well, and then lots more Dino Supercharged stuff after that. But these are what's coming up first because you guys requested it. These are the two most requested ones, so I'm going to start with these two, and I'm really excited to get into some Dino Supercharged stuff. So let's do this, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe if you haven't already because lots more Dino Supercharged reviews on the way, which are going to be really cool. Thank you all so much for watching as always, and I will see you later.